everybody, I'm gonna show a new attack that's pretty much taken over Tunnel 13. I'm assuming this is going to get nerfed at some point, but it's like the P.E.K.K.A. Bobab, but without the bats, or the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, but without the bowlers. Pretty much it's with the new Yetis, and it's extremely easy attack. So you have these 4 P.E.K.K.A.s. The 4 P.E.K.K.A.s are meant for funneling. The Yetis are like your bowlers, and then of course you have the new hero. Now, most of the attacks will use like 1 jump and 4 earthquakes, but that depends on the base. And I'm starting by this attack just to show you that the 4 earthquakes just do nothing for you. I mean, you might be able to drop them in here and open up this middle, but I'm not sure if you'll get all those walls. So you always need to jump to go into the base unless they leave it open, which some bases do. And then you can use a second jump here instead of an earthquake, and that gives you access pretty much to all of this. And you know, there's not much left here where you need a 3rd jump. So it's nice if you can avoid using the 4 earthquakes with some of these bases, but some bases it's just the 4 earthquakes open up the entire base. It's worth it to do that, and you'll see that in some of the other attacks. So what you're doing is you are using your P.E.K.K.A.s to funnel. Now notice what I did here. Because the queen was there, I just dropped my king as like a P.E.K.K.A. You can use your king to funnel too. Usually you basically just use 2 P.E.K.K.A.s on each flank. So in this case I used the 2 P.E.K.K.A.s on the king in the top right corner there, or the top corner there, and there's nothing there. So ideally you'd like stuff to all come back to the middle, but if your P.E.K.K.A.s walk around, that's fine. They're just really used for funneling. So you see we got our jump into the base. Now here's a quick thing here. If you notice, I haven't dropped my new hero yet, and I dropped them later. I dropped them last, and I dropped them a little later. She has been dropped, the Amazonian, but you don't want to drop the new hero like first or too close to the beginning, because you don't want her running ahead of all of your troops, because she'll run through the walls and then she'll get killed. So you really want to put her in the back. And then I'm going to show an attack from Brad. Brad actually saves her for the hog. So I think both methods, they seem to be working, but just don't put her down too early. You want your troops to tank for her. That's ideal. Okay, next attack. So again, the funnel is super important. So where do you come in on this base? You always want to go at the town hall with this attack. So and do we want to use earthquakes? No, because they give you really no value. I mean, where would you use 4 earthquakes? It wouldn't open up the entire base. You use a jump in here, and that'll get you, to the back end, and you hope you make it through. So the question is, do we come in this way or do we come in this way? If you look, it's super. I mean, you have all this stuff down here. You cannot funnel that. It's just too much stuff. So you want to come in through here, because literally you can have a P.E.K.K.A. here, P.E.K.K.A. here, P.E.K.K.A. here, P.E.K.K.A. here, and then all that stuff will be wiped, and then you've got your funnel, and you put your jump in here, and then again you're always using your warden ability, and then you're go. So let's see. So I got the P.E.K.K.A.s sealing off each of the sides, and again, it'd be nice if the P.E.K.K.A.s come back to the middle, but it's not the end of the world. You see, like the two up top, they do not come back, but that's all right. And you see, I usually drop my king like first once the funnel's made, so he can just tank for everything, because everything's kind of squishy. Now you see, I dropped the Amazonian last again. And I put my jump back there because I don't want the troops to come out here and walk around. I want them to stay in the base. And now it's connected, and I brought an extra heal. I've been looking at heals, kind of an extra heal's been working for me. I have brought 3 rages though when I'm not using the earthquakes. You know, sometimes I heal the hogs. It depends on what's going on, but a lot of times I've been just healing the things in the middle, especially if there's 3 infernos. So this is the most common lineup with spells. You have your 4 earthquakes. Now, why 4 earthquakes? Because we're gonna funnel in. You can either, well, you could come in through here. If you notice, you know, you don't need a jump to get to the town hall, which is nice. When they leave these gaps like this, it is nice. So, but sometimes, and it happened to me on an attack today, they can just come out. The troops can just come out, which is bad. It didn't happen here because he gets his earthquakes down. When you get the earthquakes down here, it's opening up this entire section of the base. So you have this whole section of the base, and then he has a jump for the back end. And then it's perfect. So keep this in mind. I mean, we're using 3 spell slots. You know, we have 1 jump and 4 earthquakes, so that could be 3 jumps, and that will come into play in the next attack. So the most important thing here, especially with this type of base, with these gaps here, is the funnel. So Scuba does a really nice job with this funnel here. You see, it's really nice because he doesn't really have, you know, he's able to get 2 of the P.E.K.K.A.s in there, into the core, which is nice. And then he uses his new hero to help the funnel on the bottom there. And you notice he dropped his earthquake, so now look at the base. I mean, it's completely just open. So stuff did walk around through that gap, which is why they have the gap there, but most of it came back in, and the Yetis just go in there and just trash everything when they're in rage. And then here come the hogs to clean up on the side there. And he saved his heal really nice for this back end here. I mean, really nice attack. Didn't even need the queen ability. So here's another one, and this is one, you know, this clan had a bunch of these split bases, and when you first really look at it, with this attack, you think, you know, this, you wouldn't think you can do this attack on it, because again, a lot of times, you know, you have to jump right away, and then what are you going to do? Earthquaking here does absolutely nothing for you. You can put a jump in there, but you're going to have to put a jump here to get out of here. So because the original composition has 4 earthquakes, it's perfectly fine to use 3 jumps. I mean, and that's what Thando tried here. We jumped into the base, we jumped out of the base, and then we jumped back into the base, because this 3rd jump gives you access to all of this, and it works just fine. The toughest part again is the funnel. So you see I'm breaking the funnel on each of the sides, trying to break off these 2 flanks, and then I want everything to come into here. This one I'm really careful to drop the Amazonian really late, because I don't want her to get in front of everything. And you with this attack, you really want to just keep your troops raged as long as you can. And so I rage into the base, and then I rage in the middle there, in the core. You really don't want to hold spells with this attack. I mean, look, my spells are already gone, and we're only at 43%. I've used all my spells, but you need to push through the base. You cannot be saving spells. There's just no reason. And both the hero abilities are intact. I mean, this attack is ridiculous. I want to show Max's attack because he does a really he's really good at funneling. He does a really nice job here, and he decides to use his king to funnel this side, which is totally fine. And then he drops, you know, 2 of the P.E.K.K.A.s for the core. And the nice thing about when they leave these alleys, it lets the troops get in there. Now he's bringing 3 jumps. I would think you only need 2 jumps. Like if I would have done this, I probably would have jumped right here and right here. But I think his idea was really good, and after seeing how these alleys work, if I did drop a jump here, they all might have ran. So again, just to show you, 3 jumps is perfectly fine. So you see he drops the king. He does a little bit of a queen walk because he wants to get rid of that stuff, but he's got the P.E.K.K.A. on the sides to make sure the queen doesn't go around. If the queen walks around, I mean, you're in trouble. I mean, the attack's blown. You just got to go for 2. So you really got to make sure that if you do a queen walk, and I'll show another attack with a queen walk, you make sure you funnel. So like, you see how the air defense is just destroying his healers. I remember I was watching this attack live. I would have dropped the Amazon queen on that AD because I think he lost like 2 healers, but it still doesn't matter. So they see how the troops go into gap, and then he has that jump there, and then they all go back around, and he jumps again. I mean, this is well done, and everything's getting healed by the healers, and they're in rage. So I mean, everything is just fine. So here's another attack with a queen walk, just to show you you can do queen walks with this, but again, it's risky. I wouldn't recommend doing it in CWL. I just said what the heck, and I did it because this is like our first CWL at Town Hall 13. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really comfortable with doing it a lot. So what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to drop the queen here, have her go this way, funnel this with some P.E.K.K.A.s, and everybody comes in here. So you gotta get rid of this stuff. And if you don't, and the queen walks, I mean, I was just gonna dump everything on the town hall and pray. So, you know, that's the deal there. So here, let's see how it goes here. So I'm starting with a baby dragon, and I was, you know, noticing that the thing, I didn't want both cannons shooting at the baby dragon. And, you know, why don't I use the P.E.K.K.A.? Here's why. If you drop a P.E.K.K.A., it's going to take a long time, and the healers will go on the P.E.K.K.A. Now here's the moment of truth, and I was a little worried, but she kept going. Thank goodness she didn't walk around. So now I've got the P.E.K.K.A.s up top to funnel, and I'm bringing in the extra P.E.K.K.A.s. I got 3 P.E.K.K.A.s because one of them is in the barracks coming in. I mean, the full force is going in there, and it's just going to wreck it. So I only need 2 jumps with this attack here, because if you look how the base is designed, that second jump, I mean, it gives you access to the entire base. So there's like no reason to do earthquakes there. You really need to look at that because you don't want to waste a spell to do an earthquake. There's just look and see what gets opened by it. I mean, one jump opens up this entire base. So the last attack, and then I'm going to show, we have one base left to hit, and I'm going to draw it up on how I would do it. The last attack we have, Brad's using, he's going to use the 4 earthquakes because the earthquakes will open up all of this, and it will get this little segment here, so it will open the entire base all the way to here with the earthquakes. That is really good value, and that's when you want to use it with bases like this. And Brad does something different. He saves his Amazonian for the hogs, so and that's different. You know, she kind of goes with them and follows them, and I think that's totally fine, and it's been working really well for him. So Brad jumps into the town hall, drops his heroes, drops his Yetis. He's got the barracks down, but he holds the Amazon. Gotta make sure you get that warden ability or the attack's over when that town hall blows. I mean, look at the core, it's completely open. Drops another rage in the core, and the healers just keep everything up. And then the hogs come out, and you see he drops his new hero down. So she goes with the hogs, because again, the hogs are going after defenses, and so does she. So they complement each other really nicely. He saves his heal for the hogs.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste.
Okay, so the last attack, we haven't attacked this base yet, but the Iron Duke's going to try it out. He's going to try this attack for the first time. I've been debating with myself on where I would enter this base. I thought maybe would I come this way, would I come this way, and I'm a little worried coming this way because if you drop a P.E.K.K.A here and a P.E.K.K.A here, I'm worried that the P.E.K.K.A may not go to here and clear this. So I don't know. I don't think that's the best idea. What I'm thinking is we're going to come in this way. So we're going to drop a jump right here. Don't bother overlapping it. Let's not worry about it. We're going to bring 3 jumps. So we're going to jump right here. Now here's the thing. Whenever you see a king that's here, like if you drop a P.E.K.K.A here first, the king's going to kill your P.E.K.K.A. But if you drop your king first, so the kings engage, and we're going to drop a king here, and then we're going to drop a P.E.K.K.A here, and then another P.E.K.K.A on the king. This P.E.K.K.A, it's okay if he goes this way, but the king and P.E.K.K.A, and the reason why I'm creating a funnel there, I want the king and P.E.K.K.A to go back this way, okay? So then we're going to drop a P.E.K.K.A here and a P.E.K.K.A here. In fact, we're going to drop the P.E.K.K.A here and then here first. Then we're going to drop our king, P.E.K.K.A, and then another P.E.K.K.A on the king. The P.E.K.K.A and the king will kill it. It may even pull this P.E.K.K.A this way, the king, which will be good, because then everything will come around here. We're going to drop our jump right here on this corner. Okay? Then we're going to drop our barracks, our Yetis, our queen, our warden, and we're gonna wait till everything goes in here, and then you can either you can drop the Amazonian or hang on to her for the hogs. It's up to you. We're gonna, and here's the key to this attack. Once you have once everything's dropped, put your jump down right here. Because if you do not put your jump down, the reason why they have this gap, this stuff will all come out, and then the attack's, I mean, you'll get your 2 stars, but attack's screwed. So as soon as you drop all your troops that you're ready to go, you drop that jump here, and we're gonna jump right here, so we get everything into here, and then we will drop our jump here. And we're gonna rage on top of the town hall. We're gonna rage on the top of the town hall, and our next rage right in here. And then we can heal depending on what we want to do. You know, depending where the hogs go, you can save it for the hogs, see how things are going. And I think that'll get it, or it'll be close. I hope you enjoyed the video.